Hello everybody. I always wanted to do a Facebook Live about images, what we should use. How we use these images, this is the key how we're going to win business. Why we're using these images. It's so important to have many images to win in business. What I mean by that. Many people have images and they say, I can do this myself, and they think they're going to have the best images as they have a camera phone, they are taking the images. Yes, there are certain situations when you can have those images and you can use them. I came up with an idea. When I met Vanilla Ice, I came up with this idea. Everybody's saying, if you meet a celebrity, if you have a picture with them in front of the banner what they use for the event, it's a really great thing because you have been close to the celebrity. I'm going to separate this for two few different ideas. So if you meet a celebrity, you are on an event, you are a VIP, you're going to have a shared picture with, let's say, like my coach had with Paul McCartney. This is amazing because you are somebody. If you are even close to those celebrities, you are somebody. When I met Vanilla Ice, I was thinking about that. I was shooting the event and we took those images in front of the banner. And I came up with the idea, let's have a selfie with him. Selfies are great because it means a personal connection. If you go to a celebrity, if they are really nice and friendly, they're going to let you to take a selfie. That's an amazing opportunity for you to build your brand. I twisted it around as a photographer, as you know me. I said to Ice, Rob, would you mind if we have a selfie? He said, no, that's fine. And then I said, can you take it? He said, no worries, I can do it. I've done many of those. Why I did this? Because if you are close to a celebrity and the celebrity taking the image is turning it around, not every single time you can do that, but me as a photographer, I had the chance to see that tiny gap because I asked Rob, would you mind to take a selfie? It means if the celebrity taking a picture with you, you are somebody. So that's a little twist on I can do it myself or I can get somebody to take it. Let's say you have really great stories to tell. You are on a sport event, you meet a local celebrity or you meet somebody famous who is a successful entrepreneur or the sponsor's CEO or even somebody who doing the marketing. Really importantly, you need to have those images. How you're using them is so important because if you have the images, you not just posting them on your Facebook and then you say, I have this image, let's post it. You need to be strategic because strategy and how you're using those images is the key. Like you have a collection of those images and you can have a storyline how you do it. If you meet a few celebrities, let's say you go to those sport events, as I said, because I know a few of my friends are watching who's doing sports actively, they're taking those images. I met another guy, I was on an event in Germany and I met him, I asked him, can I have a selfie with you? He said, yeah, no problem. And then actually it turned out he is a world champion, world boxing champion in a heavyweight. And Manuel Char, he is. And we took a selfie. That was actually a press conference. And on the press conference, I had this image. I haven't posted it, I kept it because that was a match around a month later and I posted the image on the day of the match with the winning belt and then it gave more power to that image. If I use it straight away, it's like, okay, I met him somewhere, and it doesn't have any extra meaning to it. Very, very important in this case. If you have those images, you need to find a way how you're going to have a maximum effort and the maximum outcome that you can get out from it. I have some notes down because I don't want to miss any single point. So in that story, if you have a phone image and then you get those images in your collection, you're getting them and you put down a strategy how you want to use it. It can be a date, it can be a specific task what you do. And also, if you are in an event and if you have an option to upgrade to VIP and have celebrity images, please do. Because celebrity images, celebrity branding is working. Do you think Nespresso having George Clooney for free? No. These companies are paying millions and millions of dollars to those celebrities because they want to be associated with that celebrity, because many people, millions of people love him and they follow him. If he drinks Nespresso, a martini, they're going to buy the product, because when they're going to see it in a shop, or they think, oh, there's George, let's buy one, or let's try out the new one. It's so important to have this. And so strategizing everything is really important. Let's say you got your social media. Very important what images you have. Every single time if you post something on your social, you are building your brand. You're building two brands parallel. You're building your personal brand, and also you're building your company brand. The personal brand is who you are, what you do, what you're best at. Your company is all about your services, all about your products, what you are selling to your clients. You need to communicate, and the best way in the world to communicate to people is images. Photography is the only language what every single person in the world understand. Without a language, a spoken language, any image can tell a story. As all of you know, many are saying one picture, one good image can tell 1,000 words. I mean by that much more, because not only 1,000 words. If you go to, as I mentioned, the celebrities, if you go to a celebrity, you have a story how you get there. So there is something. If people are seeing you have an image with Paul McCartney, or many of you have, because I know many of you who are watching have images on Mega Success with the A-list celebrities. I have many of those. I haven't posted them, but I use a few of them. Why I'm keeping those images? Because I'm waiting for the perfect moment when I can post those images. Those images are really important to me because through my work, I was working with those celebrities. I can put down in my portfolio, I work with Mel Gibson, I work with Vanilla Ice 5 times actually, so that's a long story now. I worked with him in South Africa, in Dubai, and in America. He's an American guy, but I met him many places. Thank you to my coach JT Fox. And also I met Mark Wahlberg, I met Brooke Shields. I have actually a selfie with Brooke Shields. I haven't used it on strategic purposes. Also, every single time when you post something on your social media, please think about the purpose. It has to be strategic, because every single time you post those images, it has to be following like a puzzle piece, fit into that whole image what you are building up. This is your personal brand. Every single time you post something on social media is building your brand. Why? Many people think, as I put it down, because I came up with one single kind of photography, which is every single person once in their life, at least once in their lives, think this is the most important thing to have first, is a wedding. On the wedding, you first think about the dress, second about the photographer, then the cake and the menu. Why only wedding versus professional photographer? Because you want lifetime memories. Your lifetime memory, your wedding is so important. To have the great images, what you can have is also very important, because this is going to be most likely going to be one wedding in your life. And the good quality images, what you want to show to the world, is it? So if you have only that occasion when you're willing to invest money into those images, why not you investing into your business? Every single business owner is investing in the business. Every single time we are spending money on our businesses. You can say, oh, I'm just a one-man band, I'm not spending money on my business. Actually you do, because your time was loads of money. Loads of money. Let me ask you a question. What is your time worth? Please put it down in the comments. And really important, do you know how much is your time worth? 1 hour of your work, how much is it worth? 1 hour. It's so important to know, because if you do anything worth less than your hourly rate on your own work, is you losing money. So every single waking hour from, let's say, you do work from 6 o'clock in the morning, because as an entrepreneur, you are not working 9 to 5, right? So 6 o'clock in the morning till 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. you are spending money, because you are earning money every single time when you awake. You invest this money into your business. And many people don't really want to invest into themselves. That's another trouble. Why I'm seeing this as a problem, because if you don't take a value on your time, it's so bad. Because if you don't have an idea how much is your time worth, how are you going to decide, is it worth to take time for me on that job or not? Job, I'm not meaning by employment. That task, what you're doing. Let's say you are posting images on social media. And if you do it well, you post regularly, at least 3-4 times a week. You need to post something up, because you need to be continuously giving value to your clients. So important. Very high value information you have in your head. You need to download this and put it on your social media. Put it on your website, do it on your blog. And I know many people who are really heavily investing into themselves. Let's say many of you know Coty Israel. Look at her page, how many images she has. She's well dressed because she wants to set up an image about herself, how she looks, how she dresses, what she's wearing. Every single time she is really strategic with those images. There is a fine timeline, because she's using those images, she's using beautiful dresses, she always out of the fashion book, like you put her out from the catalog. So amazing. I really admire Coty and how she's doing her own brand building. So amazing. She always on task, where she is, what she is doing, who she is socializing with, and perfectly she's blending the images together, those professional images what she has, because she has a professional lady. She's doing really well in business, and also she meet business people, and then she takes those selfies and posting them and blending them together. it's so important to have a balance with professional images. And I'm going to pick one really great example is Instagram. Instagram stories about everyday things what you do. You can take a selfie, you can have a snippet, you can have the Instagram TV, and you can broadcast something every day for free, no problem. And the other thing, your feed is a collection of images what you're using. This is where you need to have those images aligned. You need to have a great plan how you're going to post those images, because your brand is built by design, not by accident, as Coach Sherry is saying. Your brand has to be designed, and follow the design and follow the plan what you're doing. So importantly, you need to dress to impress, because if you don't dress up nicely, and then people going to meet you, let's say, misleadingly, I have been recognized and disrecognized, because if I go to any event, I always dress in a suit and always put a tie on, because I feel that my brand with the logo on my shirt, not this shirt, when I'm working, because now I'm trying to be telling you strategic things what I can show you here, Facebook Live. That whole thing is all about that. I came up with many bullet points to show you how you need to use those images. Very importantly, so dress to impress. So you put your beautiful dress on, aligned with your brand colors or with your favorite colors, and also on that feed you have designed, graphically designed images, which is using your company colors, and then you have a nice picture all over your social media, which is aligned beautifully with the same. Let's say if you use 3-4 colors, is great, because you can have a variety of images and a variety of designs. And on that beautiful Instagram feed, as I study Instagram for a while now, everybody's saying, every single Instagram expert saying, if you don't have this design, nobody going to follow you. There are specific things what need to be matching. All of those images need to be, as I mentioned many times, those tiny puzzle pieces, they need to click together to build up a huge brand. Because if you miss one, you're never going to get the end result. And also, let's say, you say you are a property investor, you are nicely dressed up on your social media, and I meet you in person, and you are wearing something different, it's going to be misleading. But if, as a property investor, you go to a site, you don't need to dress up always in a beautiful suit, right? You don't need to have thousands of dollars worth of suit if you go to a building site. And here is a different thing. If you say you are a business consultant, I don't want to see you on your images ever dressed up like in something like a jogging. If you say you are a runner and this is what you show up really rarely about your personal life, you can be. But please, I met a speaker on one of the events, and that was very disappointing. The guy was selling over 10,000 pounds worth of package about his training, and also he was selling a 25,000 pound video series on a gold USB stick. And I checked this guy out. This guy has very limited likes and followers on her social media. this is one of the signs. Be careful with those Instagram influencers who has, let's say, 30,000 likes, and they have only 15, 20, 25 likes on each post. This is a red flag, because they are not having these huge amount of followers. Probably they bought it, or probably they having somewhere in Asia they have click farms. Click farms, click farms are few thousand phones, and they are clicking on your site and they are liking everything. They are not real people, they are programs. So bad to have those. And many times you can buy Facebook likes as well. You can buy 10, 50, 100,000 likes, no problem. And now Facebook is hunting them down. This is why now you cannot have really Facebook page for your company which is reaching out to every single person who liked it. It's not going to happen. Facebook is hunting down these things. If you have let's say live videos as I have, I would love to have you to know, put down in the comments, if you watch it live, please have a comment for me. I watch it live, and if you watch a replay, just put #replay. It's so important, because I need to know how powerful that video is and how many people watching through the next few days, few weeks, because I give out everything what I have. Also, you need to decide how you want to be represented on social media, because this is your basic thing what you have to have. And also in the comments you can put down where are you from, because it's so important to see how many people watching this from all over the world. I'm glad I have some people from America live. I have some from London. I'm in London at the moment. Sometimes one of my friends told me it's so rare to see me for a couple of days or a couple of weeks in the same place, because I'm traveling so much. And also it's so good to have many of you watching this video, because I can give you something from my expertise, from my knowledge, and I want to grow your brand. This is so important to me, to give out something to you what I'm specialized in. My basic background is photography, as many of you know. I was taking pictures about 5 years ago. I was taking pictures for people, and those small bands, rock bands, in clubs. I was doing the live events, live music, and then I met a speaker, and they asked me, "Oh, can you do my event?" And then in the next few years, last year, I was actually shooting Mega Success in Los Angeles. Third time I was there, but second time I used to be just an attendee, but second time I was an official photographer there, and I been honored to work with the A-list celebrities and do those photo lines. It's so important, because I all over Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I saw my images. I'm so glad I can give something to those clients who I had, because their brands are so strengthened up. And very importantly, with those celebrities, those images going to find and going to strengthen your brand. So important to me to have the best images possible every single time for my clients, because I know they're going to achieve many things with those images. Probably there is once in a lifetime they can have those images, because the celebrities are not going to be there every single time. But if you build a brand, it's so important. I need a sip of water, sorry. Very importantly, you need to design your own brand and have regular photo shoots. Ladies, for you is more important. important than ever, because colors are changing, and in your case it's so important to always have, because might you changing your hair design, and if somebody, as I mentioned that speaker before who was selling the pen drive, I'm going back to that story, because the guy in front of me had a pair of jeans on, a checkered shirt, and also there was some patches on his trouser. So actually, if somebody doesn't really watching out what they are wearing and is it clean or not, how can you trust somebody who is selling tens of thousands worth products and they are not dressed up properly? How can you trust somebody who cannot be careful with even themselves, how they represent themselves? I checked this guy on social media. Once he had a shoulder length hair, once he had a short hair, and once he was wearing glasses, and once he was not wearing the glasses. Okay, if you have a glasses, you can have a contact lens as well. But if your hair is changing that much, it means it doesn't happen in a week, right? So if you design your brand, please always keep one thing over your eyes, in front of your eyes. The people who seeing you online, they going to have an expectation when they meet you face to face. If you a coach, if they, let's say personal trainers, right? Personal trainers are really important. Every single time they are achieving something, let's say somebody is a bikini fitness champion, they are always having those photos on stage in the current shape. Why? Because this is showing them the proof they achieved something, and then if you meet them in person, they can say, okay, this is my off-season way how I look, but you see the proof what they achieved. This is not happened by accident. This is all done by design. They designed it. You need to have a great expectation to yourself. How you doing? How you representing yourself? I always wanted to be a well-dressed man who is fit into any rooms. What I really achieved, many people misleadingly doesn't seems to be thinking front of me about me as I'm a photographer, because photographers, how they look like, usually they are not wearing a suit, they are not wearing a tie, they are wearing baggy shorts, they are wearing something like a t-shirt or something, and they are doing those things. You are not expecting that from a business event. And also to blend in and get very, very close to the action, I had to dress up differently. I had to be exactly looking like anybody else in a business atmosphere, because I need to blend in. To get close to the action is not easy, but if you can have expectation to yourself, how you properly dressed, and then every single time when they meet you, they're going to have a good understanding what you stand for, because that personal brand, what you're building through your images, all of those pictures, images, videos, everything what you post and put out on your social, the people are going to have a clear understanding what they're going to see if they meet you in person, and they're not going to be disappointed, because in the first impression what you give out, you have only 5 seconds in the first impression to lose or win. What I mean lose, a double lose is people have a first look on you, they don't like you, they are most likely not going to do business with you because they don't like you. Bear in mind, people are not doing business with companies. People are doing business with people. If they don't like you, they are not going to do business with you because they don't want anybody around them who they don't trust and don't respect. Also, every single time, as I mentioned before, you need to be strategic. So you have those images, you build up those images through your career. If you go to somebody's social media, you're going to check out who that person is socializing with, because you need to know who that person is. I came up with another idea, is I wanted to have an interview with George Ross for a long time, and I wanted to ask him a few questions, and it actually happened back in January in Florida. I met George and we had the conversation, and then I have the recordings of this, and many interviewers asked him questions, and that was really great questions as well. And George asked them, "Did you Google me?" And one person answered, "No, because I know you." And then you go to a meeting, and imagine that you go to a meeting to a person who is achieved something in a business. If you don't know them, how can you ask them great questions? And how can you be prepared to ask a good question, what he's going to reply, or she is going to reply with a great answer to you to help you? You need to be strategic with that. So you need to design this as well. I'm always coming up with that word design, because by accident not many things are happening. You need to be prepared. Execution and planning, first of all, is so important to do. You need to draw up a plan, what you want to achieve and how you want to achieve it, and then you need to reverse engineer everything, what steps you need to take to achieve that goal, because you cannot go by wind. So if you go to a cross section and you take left or right, how will you decide which is the best for you? You need to know where you're going, and this is why people are using GPSs, because the GPS can tell them where to go. You need to be your own GPS to your goals, because every single time when you don't have a plan to achieve something, is not going to lead you anywhere. You're going to get lost. Back in the day, many people had those maps. They traveled the world with it. That was perfect. But now, these days, we don't have those maps, because we cannot use the big map in the kind of traffic situation what we have. Everybody using a GPS. That's a so good thing. But first of all, what you need to tell a GPS, where do you want to go? And the GPS is going to tell you how can you get there. It's so important to have the GPS for yourself. You can build this up for yourself in business, because you put down the end goal and you're going to reverse engineer everything backwards, how you want to achieve it, step by step, quarter by quarter. Let's say for the next 365 days, you're going to plan out what steps you will make. And I mentioned earlier, you need to know how much is your time worth. How much is your time worth? Because imagine, if you post one image a day, it can take from you around half an hour. You need to get the image, you need to get the design on it, you need to put your logo on it because you want it to be branded, and you post it on your social media, you put it on to, let's say, 2-3 social medias. Please be careful. If you post on social media, don't post the same images every single time on every single social platform, because different audiences are using Facebook and different audiences are using Instagram. Be careful with that. So it can take half an hour off of your time every day. Half an hour taking off, let's say you post 4 or 5 times a day, 4 or 5 times a week. so going to take 2.5 hours away from you. And if you multiply it by 4 weeks in a month, 10 hours, 10 hours productive time lost on your posting images. 52 times, if you have it once a week, you count that 2.5 hours, you multiply it by 52. Let's say you go for 2 weeks of holiday, and then 50 times you post, let's say, easy counting, 100 hours. You lose 100 hours. You actually use 12.5 days of your life from posting. If you have those images, you click it, post it, it can take 2 minutes, but you need to have those images. So if you think about one thing like personal branding, those images what you have, I know many of you who are watching knows how important it is to post those images on social media. I know some of you are really keen on those, and I'm really happy you're using my images, because I cannot be gladful enough to get the images. I see those comments are coming up, so I'm so happy to see how many of you watching actually what I want to say. And really importantly, I came up with something during the week. I'm going to do some new ideas coming up. So actually I'm going to post something by end of the week. Is going to come up around personal branding. In this video, I don't want to miss many things out. So I still have a few things to go through. So you need just overcap and put together the whole thing what I was talking about. So first of all, you need to have a clear understanding on the quality of your image of what you're posting. They need to be true to you, and also they need to be very strategically posted, because many times when you post something, let's say you are a business professional and you post up your food and it's nothing to do with your business, it's not fit in that line, and then nobody interested in this. There is a favorite radio station that every single person is listening to, is WIIFM, What's in it for me. And because people are not interested in you, they are not interested in your family, they are not interested in your food, in your sport team, nothing. They are interested in what value can be delivered to them by you. How can you create value to those people is so important. This is the only thing what you need to think about. How can I deliver value today to somebody to change their life, to give them something why they can breathe easily from this moment. This is why I came up with this idea to do that Facebook Live, and I'm going to ask you again. So please, if you watch it live, type down in the comments where you're watching it from, and you watch it live. If you're watching it from a replay, you put down for me, please, a hashtag replay. It's so important information for me. You can ask me questions about the whole experience. So you have the plan, you execute, you have the images, you have the design, how you're going to post those images up. It's going to change everything on your social media, because people are seeing a continuum, how you strategically planted out everything in the design, and then you execute it. It works. Actually, I studied Instagram. Extremely important to have those images lined up nice and matched together, because this is going to deliver your message easily. Because if people are misled by let's say if you got two brands, if you use one brand for that and one brand for that, it's going to have an impact on a wrong way to deliver your message. You need to line up everything. So if you not if you crisscross it with the brands, it's going to lead to confusion. So confused mind never going to buy. You need to know that. And also always please have a thought about how you value yourself, because anything what you posted up is going to make you money or going to take money from you. So important to not lose money on social media. First time is going to be scary to do, let's say, a post a day or every other day, because you're going to see, oh, I need so many images. You need to have those images, and you need to put them in an order how you're going to achieve the end goal with it. What I told you, you need to start with the end goal in mind. And be strategic, not tactical. Tactics are tricks, and strategically you can win how you do step by step. If you have a plan what you follow, you cannot lose. And also as I many times repeated myself in this live, every single time you need to think first before you post anything. So importantly, I saw many who watching, I know them from different experiences, what they are specialized in, and I'm so glad many different ways people using the social media. I know many of you using social media brilliantly and grown so much. I'm so glad I could help you with those. And also many times we are in a situation when we are just scratching our head, oh, what I'm going to post up, because I don't have more images. You need to, if you have the framework how you are going to use the images, you can let's say you have good images of you in front of something single colored background, like let's say that wall which is a creamy color. You can crop yourself and you can put it in a different design. And also very importantly, I'm going to show you on this. If you imagine your Facebook feed and you watch outside to that direction, is a really negative message. If you turn around and if you do watch into the picture, it's going to give you something which is a positive impact. You don't think these things are important, but many times people are turning away from a profile which is not giving a positive message, let's say really closed poses. The photographers can give you direction what to do and what not to do on images. So importantly, you must have an understanding. Let's say I mentioned that wedding. If you go to a wedding, if you give a professional equipment to a photographer, they're going to come with different images. If you give it to your friend, they can make good images because it's set up. They need to just click it and do it. Editing after that is going to change the world, because every single photographer even have a different style. So in your social media feed, you are the designer. So you have those images, and also you collect all the information and you put it together in the design. You post it strategically and you're going to win with those. You're not going to lose anymore, because now you are dressed up with those you are given many sorry, I was just thinking ahead. So you are having those strategic points down, and you know what you're doing, and then with those images you can have a great you can have with those images you can have a great understanding how can you achieve what you wanted. And you don't need to think about every single time when you have those images. You don't need to think every single time, oh, what I'm going to post, because you have them, and you have them in an order. You can work ahead, even you can automate your posting on social media, because it can help you and save you time with the images having in a folder, and also strategically planned out what you're going to post, what quotes you put on, what colors you use. Everything is matching. So you're going to simplify many things, and you're going to strategize. So it's so important to have everything in place. I hope I helped you with that live. And watch out this space this week, because I'm going to give some more information, and I cannot wait to have you back, and I hope I see you soon. So have a good one, guys, and have a good evening, good morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. If you're watching the replay, please put down you watch the replay, and I hope I see you soon, and I'll meet you in person. So have a good one. See you guys. Speak to you soon.